Alright, so this is the lecture number 92 in our DSC series, and for now we are solving the problems related to recursion and backtracking. And I hope you have already watched previous two videos related to recursion, because those two videos are must before coming to this problem, because I am going to reuse the same logic which we have used in our previous problems of printing increasing and printing decreasing. So this program is related to those programs also. So if you have not watched those videos, then you should watch those videos. So let us see first of all what we are going to see. So we are going to see this problem in this video, which is print number in decreasing and increasing order. So look at this. You can read this theory also. You have what you have to do. If you have been provided 5 as the input, then what you have to do, you have to print 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. Let us take it to the board also. From here. Fine. This is the question which we have to do. You would be provided an input called 5. Let us take 5. Then what you have to do, you have to first of all print the number in decreasing order 5 4 3 2 1, and then you have to print in increasing order 1 2 3 4 5. So we have already seen both of these problems in our previous video. Was what that for printing decreasing order till here, we used to call a method like f of 5, and we were printing what we were printing 5, and then we were calling the f method with 5 minus 1. This was the code for print decreasing, and similarly this was the code for print increasing. Call the same function with a smaller input and print 5. So we have to combine these two approaches into a single method, and let us see how we would be able to print it. So this is the code, and I want you to try this code at your own, because we have already seen the problems of printing decreasing and printing increasing also. So if you have seen those two videos, then this video is going to be very easy for you. Fine. So if you have done with your trial, then let me write my solution. What we have seen so far. Let us see what was the code for print decreasing, because we have to first of all print the number in decreasing order. So the code for print decreasing is, it was print decreasing and increasing. Let us call it like this. So the code was for int n, and this was our base condition. If n is equal to 0, return from here. And first step was, in the case of print decreasing, we used to print n, which is initially, suppose n is 5, so printing 5, and we used to have faith on the same method. Let us call as PDI, and n minus 1. Fine. So this was doing its job for printing like this, 5 4 3 2 1. This was the code of printing the number in decreasing order. Fine. And for increasing order, what we were having, we were calling, we were not having this line. Instead of here, we were printing the number after calling the method. So here we were printing. So let us suppose this is not, now we have this. So this is the code for print increasing, and this is the code for print decreasing. Fine. So before printing or before calling the method, if we used to print the number, then the number was printing in this way, 5 4 3 2 1. And after printing the number before calling the function, the output was printing 1 2 3 4 5. So here we are also doing the same thing. We have applied the code for print increasing also and print decreasing also. So this will print the output in this way. Fine. So what it will do, it will firstly print 5 4 3 2 1, then we'll make the call. Of course, it is going to print the numbers in this order. Of course, first of all it will print 5, and then we'll make the call to f of 4. Fine. So we have printed 5, and here also we have printed 5, and it is doing its job for 4 to 3 2 1. Fine. If it is confusing to you, then let me explain this same code with another approach. I think that would be easy for you. What would be that? Let us take it to somewhere, or let us erase it. Fine. Let us solve this using faith and expectation mechanism. So our first step was expectation, second was faith, third was expectation plus faith. Meet your expectation and faith. So our expectation is, if we have been provided f of 5, then our expectation is print like this: 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. And if let us say if you are solving the same problem for a smaller input, for f of 1, f of 4, so what was the expected output from you? 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4. Fine. Let us say you are solving the same problem for a smaller input, so f of 3. So this f of 3, what was the expectation from this? This would print 3 2 1 1 2 3. Fine. If you were solving the same problem for f of 2, so this would print 2 1 1 2. If you were solving the same problem for f of 1, then what was the expectation from you? The expectation from you was 1 and 1. Why? Because there is no other number left. Like this is for print decreasing and this is for print increasing. Fine. So do not worry on that part. Look at these two. This is the expectation, and we will have faith on this, that f of 4 will do its job for printing 4 3 2 1 1 2 3. Look at our expectation very clearly. We have 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. So f of 4, what f of 4 is doing? F of 4 is printing this. Like if f of 4 can print this output for us, then why not print 5 here and 5 here manually? If it is confusing to you, let us switch that. If it is confusing to you, then what it is doing, we have an f of 5, and let us call print 5 here and call f of 4 and print 5 again here. So what it will do, it will print 5, and what f of 4 will do, this is our faith that f of 4 will print like this: 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4. So if this is the work doing f of 4 and this is printing manually, we are printing manually, eventually we are getting our output. This is what we wanted. So that means faith and expectation mechanism is also working in this case. So we will use the same approach. If you are not able to get this faith and expectation mechanism, then you should watch my first video on the recursion. So let us write the code for print decreasing and increasing. So here I'm going to change it. PDI, let us call PDI. Fine. So PDI. If n is 0, then of course we have to stop. So here what we are doing, print 5 before calling the method or n, and print 5 or n after calling the method also, and call the method for f of 4 or n minus 1. This will print your output. So let us see this into running. This is the beauty of recursion, because we do not have to do anything and our code would be printed the same output which we wanted, or which was the expectation from the code for us. So now right now we do have a error which is obvious, because we had to modify this print increasing as PDI. Let us try to run it now. We should be able to get the desired output. So you can see we are getting 5 4 3 2 1 and 1 2 3 4 5. That means our code is correct. Fine. And let us try to run it for some sample test case. Sample test case is 3. So let us try to run it for 3. So the output should be 3 to 1 and 1 to 3. So 3 to 1, 1 to 3. That means our code is correct. It is giving correct answer. So let us try to submit it. And if we can see here, we are getting 5 out of 5 test cases are passed. So this was the code for print decreasing and increasing. And these programs are interlinked to each other. If we have any confusing into these programs, then you can comment down below, or you can reiterate all 3 videos, because if you are not able to get these 3 programs, then you are not going to understand the concept of recursion, because that is very important to get understand with the recursion. I have chosen the, I would say, the easiest problem to get you understand with the recursion, because recursion is very important, because recursion is being used trees, graph and dynamic programming. So that is very important. So you should be able to have your command or faith on the recursion, then you can solve the problems related to recursion. Fine. So I want you to get started with the recursion using these problems. And if you are done, then let us continue with our next video. Thank you.